Dungeons & Dragons is a lot better than I expected. Mind you, my expectations were not high at all. Between the trailer that looked like the most generic 2 minutes and 16 seconds of Hollywood sludge concocted with an overused song, questionable CGI, cheap-looking costumes, humor that landed as well as the Hindenburg, and the interview where the directors believed that their emasculation of the leading character and the men in the film as something, quote, fresh, is as original as Ryan Reynolds' acting roles. You are playing another snarky and quick-witted pretty boy, Mr. Reynolds? How original. Full warning, spoilers ahead. Plot summary first in 3, 2, 1. Edgin is a member of the Harpers, a secret group of peacekeepers until his wife is killed by a red wizard. He forms an alliance with Holga, a sorcerer named Simon, Cunning Forge, and his ally Safina. Desperate to revive his wife, he leaves his daughter Kira to retrieve a tablet of resurrection. During the heist, he and Holga are captured while the others escape. After 2 years of incarceration, they escape and learn that Forge is now lord of the city of Neverwinter. Kira has been convinced by Forge that her father's greed resulted in his capture. Safina is revealed to be a red wizard, Shocker, and commands the guards to execute Edgin and Holga. They escape and plan to steal Forge's wealth during the previously banned High Sun Gladiatorial Games. The duo recruit Simon again and gain another member for their team, a shapeshifter named Doric. Doric uses her powers to infiltrate the castle and eavesdrops on a spell cast on Forge's vault. The spell can only be broken with a special device called the Helmet of Disjunction. This helm was last seen during a battle with Holga's ancestors. The group travel to a graveyard where Simon uses a spell to ask the dead 5 questions. A corpse revealed that a paladin named Zenk took the helm for safekeeping. The group track down Zenk, who agrees to take the party to where he hid the helmet. After a lengthy battle with a pudgy dragon and red wizard assassins, Zenk leaves the group. Simon needs to master the helm, something he struggles with. Determined to get his daughter back, Edgin formulates a new plan. Simon does manage to master the helm in a last-minute save, but the vault holds no riches. The entire group are caught and sent to the stadium. They manage to escape under the floor of the stadium in a giant jelly cube. It turns out that Forge was using the games as a distraction to load all the wealthy lord and lady's riches onto his own boat, and Safina was going to turn the entire stadium of people into an undead army. Using his magic, Simon creates a portal between the riches on the boat and a large hot air balloon to dispense all of the stolen goods to the city. He clears out the stadium, foiling Safina's plan. The group battles Safina, eventually killing her. Holga is mortally wounded, but Edgin uses the resurrection tablet to bring her back, and the group become heroes of the city. Forge is arrested and sent to prison, while the group forms a familial bond. First, I want to mention the positives of this film. I got a feeling watching this movie that all the people involved, whether familiar with D&D or not, genuinely cared about making a fun and entertaining movie. I did not get a sense of any kind of social or political preaching. It definitely was not the piece of garbage that I thought it would be. Having only played a little bit of D&D, the story did feel very much like a fun quest that your character would go on, filled with ups and downs and realistic setbacks and failures. Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves is an entertaining film with a surprisingly well-written character development. Simon goes from weak and scared to powerful and filled with confidence in his own magical abilities. Holga, although a ferocious fighter, is also a loving and caring individual, wanting to find a home and family after being banished from her clan and divorced. That being said, I also have some issues with the film. My biggest gripe with the film is in the introduction of Edgin. Edgin is a member of the Harpers, a group devoted to fight against tyranny and corruption, expecting no fame or treasure in return for their work. He lives a simple life, wishing to provide more for his wife and daughter. Just from these few facts, Edgin is established to be a man who believes in justice and goodness in the world, and a loving husband and father who wishes to provide a good life for his family. When Edgin steals a piece of marked gold belonging to a red wizard, resulting in his wife's death, he falls deep into the bottle. He quits the Harpers and becomes neglectful of his daughter until Holga takes pity on baby Kira and becomes a mother to her. The duo begins stealing to provide for themselves and their group. This piece of writing is substandard to say the least. The caring family man and provider that Edgin was established to be goes out the window. It is also a very convenient way of establishing connection between Holga and Edgin. Instead of Edgin being motivated to take care of his daughter, the last person he loves with all his heart, and recruiting a group of misfits to form their merry band of thieves, he quickly becomes a deadbeat dad. It also seems bizarre that the thing that got his wife killed, stealing, becomes his profession. I would expect that a man who lost his wife to the Red Wizards would want to do everything in his power to destroy the people that took his wife from him, justfully or extremely. Another piece of shoddy writing comes when Edgin is leaving his daughter to steal the Tablet of Resurrection to revive his wife. I do not understand why he would not tell his daughter this, knowing that they could be captured. That being said, Edgin's resolve to get his daughter back and his ability to bounce back from multiple failures and staying cool under pressure is something I greatly appreciate about his character writing. My other issue concerning the film involves the humor. I personally did not find a good portion of the jokes in this film funny. The script did suffer from that constant Marvel Cinematic Universe joking, stifling emotional scenes. The end battle contains my last gripes about the film. The way that the group defeats Sofina just seems so ridiculous. In order to suppress her powers, they sneak a bracelet onto her wrist that suppresses her magic. From what I saw in the film, this bracelet is not some mythical object. It is just some kind of policing device used by the city guards. It is like putting a god behind bars to hold them, and it works. Not to mention, the death of Sofina is directly pulled from the Avengers scene where Hulk smashes Loki. When Holga got stabbed with the Red Wizard's blade, a wound that has no magical cure, I immediately knew that Edgin would use the resurrection tablet on her. The scene had no emotional depth whatsoever. Despite all the critiques of this film, I believe that anyone remotely interested in this film should go and see it. Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves is a light, fun, and enjoyable film that is well worth the watch. Thank you for watching.